Come with me today on this horrible gloomy Tuesday morning. We've got a Vauxhall Vector. It's not a Vector, is it? It's a Vauxhall Insignia. And we have got a failed clutch. The concentric slave's burst on it and the pedal's gone straight to the floor. Let's get involved and make a start on it. Now, because we've got to take a subframe off this vehicle, we need to take the lower coupling off the steering column. Now, what I like to do is, once I've done that, is put the seatbelt through the steering wheel, because if I need to start this vehicle at some point with the subframe off, that steering wheel cannot be turned and we're not damaging that clock spring. Now, before we send the vehicle up in the air, we're going to do a little bit of work underneath the bonnet, and that entails removing the battery and the battery tray and pulling the ECU round out of the way. I might unclip it yet so it's not getting damaged, I don't know, and then we can get access to the top of the gearbox. Once that battery tray is out of the way, we've got access to the top of the gearbox now. We've undone the two rear bolts on the mount, slackened the front one off, clutch feed pipe is off, the gear cables are off, and I've also disconnected the wiring loom for the steering rack, which comes down the chassis leg down here and down to a little plug down there. Now we can take the vehicle up in the air and get the wheels off. Once we've got the vehicle half raised now and both front wheels removed, dry shaft nut undone, tracker end, make sure that you get a little drill on your wire brush, and this will help you, and clean all them threads up, even on the anti-roll bar link, and we can get them removed both sides. As you can see now, I've got the vehicle fully raised and we've also removed the subframe. It is relatively easy to remove it. Just around the front here it is a little bit tricky because you've got the plastic trim off the bumper. These little brackets will just bend down ever so slightly and the subframe will slide out. 4 bolts, we've got some wiring loom that runs down the side of the subframe going to the ABS sensors, which are them ones there. Hook them out of the way so you're not getting tangled. And all your little brackets and components and stuff that you're taking off, put them all in little piles so you know exactly where they're going. Right, let's just crack on now. Now everything is out of the way, we can make a start on removing the gearbox itself. I have already removed both dry shafts, drained the oil into a little receptacle which is over there. We're just going to remove this crankshaft sensor at the back here. Well, not the sensor itself, just unplug it. We need to get a 13mm out of the start motor and then we can make a start on all the bell housing bolts. Now I've only got one bolt left in the bell housing, which is that one right at the back there. Now I'm still on this gearbox mount up the back here. What I do, use a little short ratchet, a little wobbly one, and we can do that last 18 and that'll let the gearbox mount up. And there we have it, that is one gearbox out, and as you can see that concentric slave, well, it's completely failed. Not just a little bit, completely. And it's held on with 3 T30s, and you've got to be careful with this little metal pipe here because it can be a bit dodgy time to time. And there we have it, with a little bit of magic, that new concentric slave is now fitted to the gearbox. Now I've cleaned the gearbox down as best as I can. It was also having a flywheel and a clutch, and how I've locked this flywheel, little Allen key through the bell housing bolts, and that will lock then into the ring gear, and it'll allow you to torque them flywheel bolts up perfectly. Right, let's go round now to the clutch itself. And that tool is probably the best clutch alignment tool money can buy. Tenner, if that. And that is the new clutch and flywheel fitted to the vehicle. We've got 160 newton meters for the flywheel and then 25 newton meters for the clutch plate and pressure plate. We've also dated it and hashtag sent it as well. Let's pull this Allen key out now around the back, and then we can get this gearbox back in. And there we have it, that is one gearbox put back in now. Make sure that you plug your crankshaft sensor back in. This vehicle won't start otherwise. Now I don't know whether any of you noticed this vehicle has got a bit of a bad oil leak, which is coming from the oil filter housing. I'm suspecting it's the O-ring around the filter, so we're going to put a brand new one on it before we put the subframe back on, because we all know that that is a little bit fiddly to get to. And that is the brand new oil filter fitted to the vehicle. I've given it a little bit of a clean down with some brake and clutch cleaner. I am gonna, what time are we on now? 5 to 1. I am gonna be popping for my lunch now. Now I'm not gonna bore you putting all the subframe and exhaust and stuff back on. I'll probably start videoing now when we're bleeding the clutch. Now we're back at the top, everything underneath now is now finished. Before we put all the battery and battery tray back together, we're just going to connect the brake bleeding bottle now down to the nipple itself on the clutch. I'm going to give it an open, and you should see now all the air coming through the pipe. Beautiful. And what we're using is a Launch Pro Brake 1. Absolutely brilliant. Saves so much time you doing it this way. Right, I'm going to give that about 20-30 seconds now, get that bled, and then we can finish it off. And there we have it, that car now is all back together. As you can see, I've given everything a bit of a clean up. We've put some fresh oil in it. We've also made sure that the brake fluid is at its maximum level, obviously because we've had it bled. Let's unput the car now. We're going to get the clutch pedal. I don't know if you can see it, it's a bit darker-roony. Let's open the door. Give the clutch pedal a good few pumps. Make sure that we've got no restrictions there and the pedal is feeling good itself. And give it a big start. Make sure it's going in gear. Let's take a trip down the road for a bit of a test drive. And there we have it, we are now on a little bit of a test drive, making sure that we've got no knocks, clunks, rattles, vibrations, and we're selecting gear and we're not slipping with a bit of a third gear pull. And the car's driving absolutely spot on. That is one video of an Insignia clutch and concentric slave replacement. Anyway, let's get a send.